This is a gummy cat. I made them back in 2023 and set them up to be the little mascots for my Gummy Patreon supporters. And now it's 2026, and as much as I love them, it's time for an upgrade. They were given an upgrade last year, and now I want to go further with 3D alongside a simple little dress-up games for my patrons, so that they have a fancy way of making their mascot, rather than filling out an ugly Google form. You can block out the basic shape over the drawing, and if you've made a reference for the side of the character, which I didn't, shaping will be a lot easier. I usually use the mirror modifier, so I just have to model one side, but the charm with the gummies is they're lopsided, so I'm just making it harder for myself. I get the basic shape done, and then I add 3 splits, 1 in the center and 2 on the sides, so I can push the edge back to make the model a lot more rounded. Now I have to add detail, which will make things get very messy, so I'm going to slap the texture on top just to see how it fits and to act as a much better guideline for when I have to cut out shapes. For people that are new to modeling, the little dots on my model are called vertices, and the more there are, the more it takes for my computer to physically render it. While he looks pretty good, we need to make sure there's also no n-gons. It can make the model warp in weird ways that look super ugly and broken, especially when shading gets involved. So while we're adding small details like the mouth and eyes, we need to check that the dots follow each other and connect properly. I'm too lazy to remake the other ear, so I'm just going to duplicate this one, mirror it, and then join them together. But that red means the normals are flipped, which is bad. If you've ever accidentally gone inside of a player's head, you might notice that it's see-through aside from maybe floating eyes and teeth. So if the normals are flipped, then the ear would seem missing unless you stuck your head inside of it. I like to update the textures to actually fit the model. I only just learned how to texture, and the only apps I have is Blender and Procreate, so country girls make do. Anyway, he's done. All that's left is making the accessories and then making that dress-up game. If you want your own, all you have to do is be a Gummy Patreon supporter for £1 a month, or if you want more, there is the rest of the tiers that I also have to model. They'll be getting more custom options like eyes, body shapes, etc. So keep me in your prayers. Also, please comment accessory ideas.